Been asked a question: do I dislike sport fighting? I've made many videos about my views on sport fighting, but I will make another one to answer this question. And the answer to the question is yes, I do dislike sport fighting. I do not watch it. And I might have watched a few fights. Because you do not really understand something until you expose yourself to it and then witness to see how the exposure makes you feel. And through maturing and growing, I've learned and see things in a different way. It's obvious that in the beginning you may watch it and find pleasure in it, but through time I saw a lot of ugliness in it. It was no longer pleasurable. It was no longer beautiful. I'd have to admit, some of the sport fighters that I did enjoy watching were someone like Muhammad Ali. It's just the way that he fought, the way that his character was. To me, there was art in the way that he fought. He fought with beauty. But not a lot of people will ever be the way that he was. I saw a lot of anger, hatred, violence, ugliness in the way other sport fighters fight. And that, to me, was not pleasurable to watch. There are few fighters that I see that would be sport fighters that I see that would be graceful the way Muhammad Ali was. And there's not going to be many like him. I see a lot of times sport fighters just use the ring or the cage as a justified, legalized way of being violent towards another human being. But if you put these human beings, these fighters, you put them in the streets, they'd be in jail, they'd be criminals. But now you put them in a ring and a cage, now they're praised. So when I watch these sport fighters, I don't just watch how skillful they are. I watch their character and how they are, how respectable they are, how they treat their so-called opponent, how their mental state is, how modest they are, how humble they are, how arrogant they are. I see the way they fight. I see the way after they win. How do they feel? How do they express themselves after they win? And to me, a lot of times I see it and it makes me sad inside the way that they are. So they might win, they might beat somebody, and the person may be clearly not as skillful, not as talented, but these fighters would dominate these individuals with no mercy. And after dominating them, they're in great joy, jumping around, extremely cheerful. That to me is sad. Because to me, I see it as if watching bullies take advantage of those who may be a little weaker. And I do not like bullies. I'm totally against bullies. I am for protecting those who need to be protected. I am for protecting those who are being bullied. I believe that's what a martial artist is supposed to do. Protect himself and protect those who are bullied from the bullies. So someone like a police officer can represent someone who could be a true police officer, like a true martial artist, protecting those that need to be protected from the criminals. A true police officer. And then there could be police officers who are corrupted, who are bullies themselves. So what do? They go out, they search for bullies so that they can bully the bullies. And that's what you see with something such as Rodney King. You see police brutality where they take it too far. They take their force beyond what was necessary to stop the confrontation. And that is where there is a huge problem. So you see, say you got a corrupted police officer who unjustifiably shoots a criminal. Say the criminal was not resisting, the criminal was compliant, but say the corrupted police officer shoots the criminal anyway so that he could just kill the criminal, and then after killing the criminal he is in great joy. He is smiling, he is happy, he is jumping, doing flips, giving high fives to his fellow police officers. That is ugly to me. And now you bring it back to the context of competition fighting. That is what I see. I see bullies that are being praised for beating up others. Basically bullying other people. And then they are in great joy after having really hurt somebody very badly. I see that as a sad thing. I see martial arts is supposed to be protecting yourself from danger for justifiable reasons, and protecting others that need to be protected during times of danger. And when you protect them, and when you protect yourself, and you really have to hurt somebody in order to protect yourself, you are not supposed to be happy. That is not something to be happy about. You might have taken somebody's life. You might have very severely injured somebody. And for you to be happy, it shows something that's incorrect about your inner being. I see martial arts is supposed to lead you towards love and compassion and care towards others, not towards hatred, competition, and violence towards other people. So I do not like sport fighting. I see that it encourages violence in people. There are other ways to compete that are more peaceful. You do not have to compete with fighting. Fighting is supposed to be one of the very few things that people are not supposed to compete with. It is not supposed to be a game. When it comes to fighting, it is serious. Like the lives of police officers, it is serious. You try to compete with the police officer, you'll probably die. Or he will die. Somebody will die. Because they don't take those risks. And that is what fighting is. It's supposed to be something that is not meant for competition. It's just supposed to be something you do out of pure instinct for survival. Not to compete. There are healthier ways to compete where you don't have to fight. That's why there's such a thing as sports. That's why there is tennis. That's why there is basketball. That's why there is baseball. That's why there is football. So many different sports to compete in. Why do you have to compete with somebody to see who can knock somebody out? That is not healthy competition. That is just, to me, legalized violence. And because the society is heading towards more violence, they are generating income from this, and it is something that will not stop. But I am against it.